Hello, class of 2026. This is Mrs. Ferguson from the Hayfield College and Career Center. And if you missed the senior lesson that we did during Hawk Time on Tuesday, September the 16th, I'm going to go over it for you now. Here's a photo of your counselors for this year, missing Mr. Hong and Miss McNamara, of course. Just so you know, some of our alphabet assignments have changed over the summer. Please take a look and make sure that the counselor that you think you have is still your counselor for this year. In addition, Mrs. McNamara is out for the time being, and her seniors have been divided up amongst our other counselors. So if Mrs. McNamara is normally your counselor, take a quick look here and find out who you should be working with this fall. All right, let's talk about applying to college. There are many different types of college applications out there. Colleges sometimes have their own online application, and you just fill it out right on their website. Examples of that would be like Nova. Probably the most popular one that has hundreds and hundreds of colleges on there is the Common application, or you'll hear people refer to the Common App. If you're thinking about attending a historically Black college or university, you'll want to know about the Common Black College application, where you can apply to over 60 HBCUs with one low application fee. And last, there's the Coalition application. It's not used quite as much by colleges, but it is out there if that's something you would like to use. You are going to hear your counselors and I and your family talk a lot about deadlines this year. There will be college application deadlines, transcript request deadlines, test registration deadlines, scholarship registration deadlines, and FAFSA and maybe CSS profile deadlines, which are financial aid forms. It's very important for you to figure out a system that works for you to keep yourself organized this year. Maybe you use a Google Calendar, maybe you like using paper, whatever it is, take a little bit of time some weekend and lay out all of the deadlines that you'll need to know about this year. And then as new deadlines come up, you'll want to make sure you add those to your calendar to make sure you don't miss anything. One of the things that students often ask about is the difference between some of the different types of admissions deadlines that are out there. So the first one is called early decision. Early decision, you can think of it as I've decided this is the one and only school for me, and if I'm admitted, I promise to enroll there in the fall. This is a strict deadline. They don't accept late applications, and it is binding, meaning you are making a promise to them that if you're admitted, you will attend. Usually these early decision deadlines are somewhere between mid-October and early November, and you'll receive a response from the university by December or January. A similar deadline, because it has the word early in it, is early action. The difference between early action and early decision is that early action is not binding. You are not making a commitment to attend the school if they admit you. So you are still applying usually in the mid-October to early November range, and you're still hearing back in December or January typically, but you will have until May 1st to decide which college you'd like to attend. Regular decision is a timeline that happens a little bit later. Usually for regular decision, applications are due somewhere in January and February, and you'll get your admission decision sometime in March or maybe early April. This is usually a strict deadline, but there is no obligation to attend the university if they admit you. Rolling decision is what some colleges do, and that just means that you can apply whenever you'd like, and as soon as they've made a decision on your application, they'll let you know. So you could apply in September and know by October that you got in, Or maybe you apply in March of your senior year and find out whether or not you got in. So rolling admission, rolling decision is usually a much longer window. It is also usually first come, first serve. So if you wait until March or April, they may tell you that their freshman class is already full. So you should still think about trying to get your application in by January or February to make sure there's still room for you in their freshman class. Let's talk about what the official transcript request form looks like. This is an electronic version of the form. You can find it in Schoology in the Class of 2026 folder. I'll show you in a few minutes. Or you can get a paper version of this form either in your counselor's office or in the College and Career Center. So the transcript request form asks for your name, your FCPS student ID, the date, your email address, your counselor's name, and your date of birth. Now, we were just talking about deadlines, so let's look at these deadlines carefully. Our requirement is that you plan at least 30 days or 4 weeks of processing time for your transcript requests. So if you have a deadline of November 1st for a college application, that form should be to your counselor by October 1st. You can see all of the dates here. We've done the math for you to make it a little bit easier. There are some other important notes over here. Some colleges, like Virginia Tech, do not accept transcripts from Hayfield. You are going to type your transcript in all by yourself. And certainly your counselors and I are here to help you with that because it can get a little tricky. Also, please note that Hayfield does not send your SAT or ACT scores to colleges, so you will need to do that yourself through the College Board's website or the ACT's website. Some colleges allow you to self-report or just to type it into your application on the honor system, and they assume that you are telling the truth. Okay, one of the other parts that can get confusing for a student on the transcript request form is this little part down here. This is asking, do you waive your right to review or have any copies of letters of recommendation written by FCPS employees? So what this means is, are you okay with your recommenders at Hayfield writing a letter telling the college how amazing you are and sending it straight to the college without you reading it and making any edits or changes that you would like to make? If you are okay with that and you trust that your counselor and your teachers are going to say amazing things about you, you should check off the button that says yes. Colleges do expect that counselors and teachers will be able to talk directly from them to the university. So do keep in mind that if you say no and you do not waive your right, your counselor or teacher may tell you they are unable to write a letter in that case. So normally most students will check yes, but you do have the option to check no. Just please talk to your counselor before you actually check that box to make sure that you fully understand what that means. You will sign the bottom of this form. If you're under 18, you will also need a parent or guardian to sign the form. On the back of the form, you'll notice that there are slots for the colleges that you're applying to. So perhaps here you'll put Norfolk State University. You'll put that their deadline is January 1st. You will say no, that a counselor recommendation letter is not needed. And maybe you're applying regular decision and you are using the common application. So these white boxes are the only ones that need to get filled out here. These gray boxes will be filled out by your counselor and by our transcript office. College admissions testing. We talked a little bit about it on a previous slide. For the 2025-2026 testing dates, please go to sat.org or act.org in order to register yourself to take those tests. Please remember that many colleges are still test optional or test blind, meaning that you can choose whether or not to submit your test score. If you're ever unsure about whether or not it would be a good idea to send a test score to a particular college, please talk to me in the College and Career Center or talk to your counselor, and we can talk through which one is going to give you the best advantage as the admissions office is reading your application. Make sure that you are also confirming testing policies and getting full details from your college's admissions website. There might be a college that is test optional for admission, but if you want admission to their honors program or you want merit scholarships, they may require that test score for some specialty programs. So do make sure that you read all the fine print so that you can do what is best for your application, but also gives you the best chance at any other extras that you might be looking for from that particular college. If you are on free lunch or reduced lunch, or if you are enrolled in the Avid 12 class, or you're an active member of Fairfax County Public Schools College Partnership Program, CPP, you will receive fee waivers both to apply to college and for your college admissions testing. So you can talk to me in the College and Career Center for your SAT and ACT fee waivers, and for college application waivers, you'll just want to let your counselor know that you are someone who qualifies and they can talk you through the rest. Let's talk about recommendation letters. Some colleges require recommendation letters, some say they're optional, and some do not accept them at all. It's important for you to do your research so that you know whether or not a college even needs a letter, so that your counselor or your teacher is not writing a letter that the college will never even read. You can very quickly, if you're using the common application, it's very quick and easy to look at your list of colleges and to see which letters are optional and which letters are required in the main listing of your colleges. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, feel free to talk to your counselor or me and we'll show you where that is. In order to request a counselor recommendation letter, you will need to fill out something called the School Counselor Recommendation Questionnaire. This is required for you to give to your counselor at least 4 weeks prior to the deadline of the college that's going to need that recommendation letter. So if you have November 1st deadlines and you need a counselor recommendation, that counselor recommendation questionnaire should be to your counselor no later than October 1st. When you fill out that counselor recommendation questionnaire, the more information you can put in there, the better. You want to give your counselor lots of details so that they can make sure to represent you well in the letter that they write about you. You can find this school counselor recommendation questionnaire both in Schoology in the Class of 2026 folder that I'll show you in a moment. It is also available on Hayfield's website if you go into the college application forms section. Please make sure that you include that counselor rec questionnaire with your transcript request form the first time you turn it in so that your counselor has plenty of time to write it. Teacher recommendation letters. We do ask that you also give your teachers at least 4 weeks notice before your earliest deadline. Also make sure that you are looking to see whether or not a college will accept teacher recommendation letters before you request one. Teachers have a different policy. They all do their own thing. So when you ask a teacher for a recommendation letter, they will give you additional information that will say, hey, I would really like to have this or that from you that will help me write a letter. So you'll work individually with that teacher to find what information they need from you in order to write their letter. One of the things that is on both recommendation letters, let's see if I can go back here. One quick note, when you are in a common application, there will be a place for you to be able to invite a recommender. This is where you'll type your teachers or your counselors' name and email address in that section. And then the counselor or the teacher will get a notification in their Common App account, and they will go ahead and write your letter and upload it straight in the Common App portal. So you'll see, once it's been uploaded, you'll be able to see it. You do not have to wait until those are submitted before you submit your Common App. When you're ready to submit your application, go ahead and submit it. Your teacher or your counselor will submit it on their own timeline, and everything gets matched up in the cloud in the admissions office. One note, almost every college in the United States gives counselors and teachers an additional few days or even weeks for us to get your transcript and your recommendation letters to them. Do not panic if it has not been uploaded by the deadline. Your counselor knows which colleges give them a little breathing room, and they will be sure to have all of that information there before that college's deadline. The last thing to note is that when you are inviting your recommender, make sure that you are using their fcps.edu email address. Do not invite teachers and counselors using that fcpsschools.net email address, because that is one that has a firewall on it, and it will not go through. After you have submitted your transcript request form and talked to teachers and counselors about recommendation letters, your responsibility is to make sure that you invite them in your Common App. Your counselor will complete and upload your recommendation letter and any required documents by the college's deadline for school officials. Make sure that you talk to your counselor if you're eligible for an application fee waiver. In your Common App, there will be a place that says, do you qualify for a fee waiver, yes or no? You'll click yes, you'll type your name in, and it will get sent to your counselor, and your counselor will approve it on their end of things. Your big goal is to make sure that you complete your application on time. Here at Hayfield, we have lots of ways for you to get help with the college application process. Probably our favorite one that we have every year is a collaboration between the Hawk Writing Center and Student Services. We will be hosting multiple college app camps in the fall. We've got one coming up October 15th after school, and then we've got one on October 28th, both during Hawk time and after school. You'll be able to bring your laptop, sit down, and work on an essay with our Hawk Writing Center tutors, or work on your college application with the counselors, or do a bit of both. The time is yours to do what you need to do and get the help you need. In addition to the in-person help that we'll be offering, there are some wonderful websites that will help guide you through the Common Application and essay writing. These are my two favorites. Access Companion is a website that features both videos and text that explains every single question on the Common App. So if you are stuck on the activities section, or you are stuck on this question because you're not really sure what they're asking, go to accesscompanion.org and get into the website, and you can navigate yourself directly to the page of the Common App you're on and watch videos of people explaining to you exactly what that question wants and what colleges are looking for. In fact, there are videos from college admissions people at colleges who give you more information about what are they looking for in the answer to that question. It's a wonderful and free resource. College Essay Guy is another free resource. He does have some paid content, but he has tons and tons of free information. So if you go to collegeessayguy.com and you click on free resources, you'll see information about brainstorming before you start writing an essay. You'll see information about, things to do and not do in an essay. He has a section on supplemental essays. Sometimes colleges use both the main Common App essay, and then they have some that are specific to the university. So he has information on those as well. He also has information on college resumes, college interviewing, how to tour and research a college if you can't go to campus. Lots and lots of free stuff. If you're a podcast listener, he has a fantastic podcast. So check out College Essay Guy as well. Now let's talk a little bit about one of the most popular colleges for Hayfield students to attend. Northern Virginia Community College, otherwise known as NOVA, is our local community college. And they offer a variety of pathways for students, depending on what your future goals are. They have 2-year degrees that will transfer to a 4-year college. And usually you'll be able to do those 2 years at NOVA and then another 2 years at the 4-year college, and you'll have your 4-year degree. NOVA also offers some career training degrees. So the career training degrees are the ones that have 3 letters in them. So AAA or AAS. This means Associate of Applied Arts, Associate of Applied Sciences. What that means is that these are more direct career training, and they do not include that general education that 4-year universities would be having you do during your first 2 years. So English, math, science, social studies, those sorts of things. These career certification associate's degrees give you almost all of your in-major classes without all that other liberal arts education and foundation. So for some students, that is exactly what they want. You should know, however, that these don't transfer very well because you are not sort of taking the same classes that somebody at a 4-year university would be taking. So if you know that your goal is to transfer to a 4-year college, you're going to want to stick with the 2. You're going to want to stick with the 2 letter, the Associate Arts and the Associate of Science. NOVA also has a number of career certificates. They might only be for 6 months or 1 year, and you can get a very quick career certification. They also have continuing education options. They have stackable credentials, so you could get a bunch of different IT certifications and go out and get a job with those certifications. So NOVA is not just for people that want to transfer to a 4-year college. They have a lot of great trade and technical education as well. One of the unique things that NOVA has is a program with George Mason University called the Advance Program. The Advance Program is a program that you can apply to the summer after you graduate, and it basically will allow you to be both a George Mason and a NOVA student at the same time. So your first 2 years of college, you'll be taking classes at NOVA. However, you will also have a George Mason University student ID. So if you want to go study in their library or check out a book or join a club at George Mason, you can even join their amazing pep band. If you have never seen them, you should check it out. But at George Mason University, you will be able to do everything that the other George Mason students will be able to do, except for play Division I sports. Obviously, there are NCAA rules about you needing to be taking classes there at the university for that. But the advanced program, in addition to allowing you to have the benefits of both colleges for all 4 years, you'll save over $15,000 in tuition because George Mason's tuition is about double the cost of what it is at NOVA. So you can save yourself a lot of money by doing it this way. And the big benefit of the advanced program is that George Mason and NOVA professors have laid out a path for you of every single class you need over those 4 years in order to get whatever major and degree that you're looking at George Mason for. That means that you don't have to guess about whether or not a class is going to transfer. You know it transfers because you're part of the advanced program and you are following the plan that the advanced program has put out for you. So that is a huge benefit in knowing that all of those credits are going to count towards your George Mason degree. The last thing that the advanced program provides is that they give you a success coach. And this success coach is with you your entire time that you're working on your college degree. You will have the same person at NOVA that you have at George Mason, and they act as your go-to person for when you're having problems or needing help with something and not sure where to go, they can be your advisor and help get you back on track. Nova will start coming to the Hayfield College and Career Center in October, and Nova's application will open in November. So we will start having application um, workshops in the College and Career Center where you can come, bring your laptop, sit down, and we will help you apply to Nova. As I'm recording this, it is the end of September. Nova's application is not open, so you cannot do it quite yet. We will be able to start doing it for sure in November. One more word about the advanced program is that we do have someone from the advanced program coming to Hayfield at the end of October to give a presentation and an information session about the details of that program. So if you're interested, make sure that you sign up for that in Naviance. I'll show you how to do that in just a few moments. Many of us are going to need financial aid help in order to be able to afford to go to college. And you are in luck because at Hayfield we have a free financial aid advisor. Mrs. Rousey is our person. She's been with Hayfield for probably about 8 years at this point. She comes to Hayfield once a week during our SOAR time or our Hawk time, and she will be there to help you fill out any financial aid forms you have. And then once we get into the spring, she can also help you figure out what the colleges gave you and help you understand what that means and whether or not the college is going to be affordable for you. Mrs. Rousey can also meet with your family if they would like to be a part of the discussion. She is available during afternoons and evenings and on weekends via Zoom, so you just have to email her for an appointment. The financial aid applications do not open until October 1st, so it's very important not to fill out any financial aid forms until after October 1st. If you do it before October 1st, you've done the wrong form and you'll have to completely redo it after October 1st. So keep that in mind. If you'd like to know more about financial aid, I'm going to have a Hawk Time financial aid workshop. We're going to talk about financial aid. We're going to talk about how to find scholarships, how to win them. That will be Monday, October the 6th during Hawk 4. There is limited space available because it is in the middle school lecture hall. Please make sure that you register in Naviance under college visits in order to attend. I do not have enough space for the whole senior class to be there, so it is first come, first served. Lastly, there are a number of financial aid and scholarship workshops being held online, also by College Access Fairfax, which is the company that provides us our free financial aid advisor. So College Access Fairfax has all of the Zoom links on their website. You can click on the College Access Fairfax website to learn more. They have a workshop called Paying for College. They have one that goes through the FAFSA, which is the main financial aid application, line by line and shows you every single question on it. I know some folks like to see it before they actually do it, and so that's the perfect workshop for you. They will also do some scholarship workshops, and they are going to be doing 2 workshops specifically for military families. So those will go over things like the GI Bill, Chapter 35, the Yellow Ribbon Program, how all those things work. So I encourage you to go to their website to find the dates and times of those workshops. They will eventually post the recordings of those workshops. So if you are unable to attend, you'll be able to go to their website a week or 2 after the event, and usually you'll be able to see the recording of the program at that time. Some students are ready to take a break after high school before they move on to their next steps. That's called a gap year. And gap years have become very popular in the United States. It has often been popular and common in countries around the world, but it has really started to become more popular here in the United States over the last 10 years or so. I would say that the students that take a gap year are more ready for whatever next step they have because they've had a chance to take a break, figure out what they want, figure out who they are. If you think that a gap year sounds like an interesting option and you are looking for some specific gap year programs, you should plan to attend the FCPS Gap Year Fair on Wednesday, January the 28th at Marshall High School in the evening. There will be a college fair style program where you'll be able to walk around to different tables and talk to folks about the gap year programs that they offer. Uh, if we have snow on Wednesday, January 28th, the snow date is the very next evening, Thursday, January the 29th. Many of our students, especially those who are affiliated with the military, are thinking of doing something military related after high school. Maybe they're going to enlist, or they're pursuing an ROTC scholarship, or they are going for a nomination to one of our U.S. military academies. If you are planning on enlisting, whether that be active duty, reserve, National Guard, Hayfield has recruiters who would love to sit down with you and talk about the opportunities in their branch. If you look in the senior packet, and I'll show you where that is in a few minutes, we have a page in that senior packet that gives you the name, email address, and phone number and visit schedule of all of Hayfield's recruiters. So check that on your packet. It also includes our dates for the ASVAB. So if you are planning on joining the military, enlisting, you do need to take something called the ASVAB. That is the military entrance exam. We will have one in the fall on November 20th, and we'll have another one in mid-April on April 16th. Registration for those begins about a month prior to the event. And what will happen is that I will email you a link to a Google form, and you will click on that and fill it out, and you will be registered to take the ASVAB on that particular day. We will also be hosting a military day later in November. I'm working with our recruiters now to make sure that I pick a date that works for everyone. So we will release more details once we have an official date on the calendar. But if you would like to meet with recruiters in the College and Career Center and hear from all of them at one time, you'll be able to do that on our military day. More information on that coming soon. If you were thinking about trade and technical school, when we were talking about NOVA, we were talking about the number of opportunities that NOVA has for you to get trade and technical training there. In addition, Fairfax County Public Schools has a division called ACE, or Adult and Community Education. ACE offers classes in health and medical, IT, business, the trades. They offer a wide variety of courses and certifications. There are often scholarships that you can apply to, and so those classes could be lower cost or even free. It is definitely worth looking into the opportunities that FCPS has. They will be coming to the Hayfield College and Career Center on December 17th at 9:45. That's during hawk time, and they'll be talking more about all of the different opportunities that you have through FCPS. Another option for getting trade and technical training is through a local union. For instance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, or for instance, maybe the steam fitters. Many local unions also teach classes in a particular field that they specialize in. Lastly, the Wish Center is a small section of the Hybla Valley Community Center. It's located off of Route 1 in the neighborhood behind Costco, sort of in the Mount Vernon Hybla Valley area. The Wish Center is a community resource for everyone, both teenagers and adults, who are looking for some career services. They can help you write a resume, practice interviewing skills. They have employers who are looking for employees, so they know who's hiring. They also offer free classes for you to try out various things. They've got 3D printing, they've got a welding lab, they teach construction, they teach robotics. They teach a number of different classes. They do also teach computer classes in both Spanish and in English. So they have a number of great opportunities there, and all of their programming is also free. If you want more information on them or any of these trade and technical school options, please come see me in the College and Career Center and I can give you more information. Apprenticeship, we talked a little bit about it on the slide before. Apprenticeship is learning while you earn. So you're doing a combination of both training on the job, so you're working for a company and learning how to be a bricklayer or a pipe fitter. And then 1 or 2 nights a week, you're doing some classroom work where you're learning the book part of that particular career. And after you have earned a certain number of hours, you've spent enough hours both on the job and in the classroom, then you'll be able to sit for a license to be able to officially be that tradesperson. Sometimes it's called a journeyman. There are high starting salaries for these trades, and there is plenty of money and plenty of work to be had. When we talk about AI and how it might be affecting the workforce, the trades will probably not be affected as much by AI because someone physically has to do the work. And so there will always be an opportunity for people who have these highly defined and skills. Additionally, with apprenticeship, you are also finishing that apprenticeship. It might be 3 or 4 or 5 years, depending on what you're studying. But when you're finishing it, you have been earning money for that last 3, 4, or 5 years. And you will not have student loan debt like your friends that went to college and spent 4 or 5 years. So you are starting out ahead also financially. If you want more information about apprenticeship, stop by the College and Career Center and I'd be happy to tell you more. All right, as promised, I'm going to show you some of the resources available for you in Schoology. I'm actually going to jump out of this PowerPoint and we're going to go into Schoology. If you are in Schoology, you'll want to click on Courses and you'll want to look for the Student Services course. Every single Hayfield High School student is enrolled in this course, so you should have it. You may have to go to the My Courses section to be able to find it. Once you're in there, you'll notice that there are lots of different options in here. I've got career resources where you can learn more about top paying careers, career training through Fairfax County, healthcare careers, got a whole section from the Fire and Rescue Department, and on HVAC careers and apprenticeships. I have college resources. I'm seeing more and more students who are interested in earning a college degree internationally, so I've got resources there. If you are in a military family, I have some specific resources for you. If you are studying for the SAT or the ACT, just know that you can take free group classes online from Varsity Tutors, and this will tell you how to get there and how to access those. Fairfax County, we'll talk about this in a moment, does some free webinars every October, and these are the recordings from last year's. We are less than a month away from this year's, and so once we have the recordings of those, I'll replace this one with the new ones. And lastly, if you're looking for or needing to log your volunteer or community service, make sure you are using X2Vol. This shows you how to make your account and how to access it. If you have questions about using X2Vol, please talk to your government teacher. Government teachers are the ones that help approve hours in X2Vol. So now let's go up to the top to the Class of 26 folder because that's the thing that has all of the details you are looking for. If you open Senior Presentation and Handouts, you'll see the PowerPoint we are reading out loud right now. In addition, we have a senior packet for the Class of 2026. This is 19 pages of goodness. I'll give you a little preview here. We have important dates for the fall. We have information about your different options after high school. Here's that military options flyer that I talked about with our recruiters. And on and on. So there's information about careers and apprenticeship and about colleges and some upcoming college fairs, information on how to do some things in Navient, how to get help with your college applications, a transcript request form. This is a list of those financial aid and scholarship workshops this fall. These are the dates that Mrs. Rousey, our financial aid expert, will be coming to the Career Center. And these are how to find scholarships in Navient. If you don't want to dig through all 19 of those pieces of paper looking for the thing you want, you can look for individual files and go directly to the thing that you are most interested in learning about. All right, we'll go back to the class of 26. If your family was unable to join us for senior family night, we've got everything right here. Here's the family night handouts. This is the PowerPoint from the financial aid workshop that we did. This is the PowerPoint for the career training options. If you are thinking about career training, I highly recommend that you take a look at this. It goes much more into depth about career training options than we're able to do in this presentation today. If you are one of the people that got an invitation to do George Mason University's direct admission program and you want to know more about it, the PowerPoint for that is right here. And lastly, the PowerPoint on how to apply to 2 and 4-year colleges is here. Going back to the class of 26 resources again, here are our college application materials, your transcript request form. This is that counselor recommendation questionnaire that's required if you need a counselor recommendation letter. There is an optional parent questionnaire if your parent or guardian wants to give your counselor additional information. Maybe they think something about you is really awesome and maybe you don't want to talk about it or you forget to talk about it. Your parent can brag about you on that and give that to your counselor at least a month before your deadline, and the counselor will be happy to include some of that good stuff in your recommendation letter as well. If you are using a fee waiver on the common application, this will show you screenshots of how to do it. And if you are someone who is doing a common application, I do have some information that will be helpful to you. There's a section of the Common App that asks things like, how many people are in your senior class? Is your GPA weighted or unweighted? How does Hayfield report grades, quarterly, semester? So that is the answer for all of those questions. There is another folder for college application resources. I've got lots of different things that will be helpful for you in here. This is a little bit more. This is a video about that I waive my right or don't waive my right. If you're still a little confused on that, I highly recommend watching that video. I think it will help clear things up for you. SAT and ACT information is here, different ways to prep and how to register. And then we've got our financial aid and scholarship resources here. So this is all in Schoology. Now, if you would like, I have started a new little section in Schoology for students who want to join. You don't have to. But if you want to know all the latest and greatest college and career news, I am going to put those sorts of things in my group. I will, of course, always put the most important updates here in our student services course. But if you want everything that I'm getting, and it's a lot, you are more than welcome to join my new group. You'll click on groups and you'll click on Hayfield College and Career Center News. And you can pause and take a photo of this. This is your access code to join. Every time I get information that I think you would like to know about, I will pop it into the updates. So there's a career fair here. There's a virtual information session. There's UVA School of Architecture. This one is not for seniors, but there are a number of things in here that would be very helpful and interesting to you. So I would love to have you join if you would like to. Again, all of your resources will still be in the Student Services course, but I created a separate group for people that wanted more and more and more information. All right, we're going to jump right back over to our PowerPoint here. Naviance Student is a wonderful resource for both college exploration and career exploration. You can build a resume in there. You can monitor your transcript requests. You can explore careers in the military or in the civilian world. You can do a scholarship search. You can do all kinds of things in Naviance Student. I'm going to jump out again to show you very briefly how to use Naviance. So if you're in Schoology and you click on, I call this the wacky waffle, click on the wacky waffle and click Naviance. Yours will see Naviance Student. I'm a staff member, so mine says staff. It takes you to another website where you'll scroll down to the students and you'll click login and you will put your regular FCPS username and password in. I'm going to log in really quickly here. All right, let's try this again, you guys. Ooh. I am recording this in the evening, but Naviance should be up. Let's hope. There we go. Okay. So when you log into Naviance, your Naviance is going to look like this. And from here, you can do lots of different things. You can edit your path and you can change it because you're planning to do an apprenticeship program. So it will change your landing page to show information about job searches and apprenticeship. If you are interested in maybe doing some career interest surveys, learning more about yourself and what kinds of careers you might be interested in, self-discovery is a great place to do that. There are a number of different career finder and interest profilers in here. You can also go to the careers section and you can explore careers. You can explore your favorite military branches. You can look over here for experiential exploration. By the way, this is where X2Vol is for you to find your service learning information. Road Trip Nation are some great videos where they interview people who are famous in their particular line of work. And there are work-based learning opportunities in there as well. In the colleges section, you can use a Supermatch college search if you are still looking for colleges to add to your list. Maybe you're looking for a college that has a criminal justice major, is in a large city in the Mid-Atlantic, and has Army ROTC. You can put all of those criteria into the Supermatch, and it will tell you which colleges match what you're looking for. The scattergrams section will show you historical data on Hayfield students who have applied to a particular college, and it will plot them just as data points, there are no names, on a scattergram, and will let you know where you might fall so that you can kind of have an idea of whether or not that particular college is going to be a reach college or whether or not it should be a good match college for you. Speaking of colleges, colleges come from all over the United States to visit Hayfield students every fall. So between now and October 31st, we've got a number of universities coming to visit us, and you can sign up to meet with that admissions representative. So the way you do it is that you click on college visits, and you'll be able to see the list here. Let's say that you're interested in learning more about Air Force ROTC. You would click Register Now, and then you would click View Details, and you will take a screenshot of this confirmation page. This acts as your electronic pass down to the College and Career Center on September 30th at 8:30 a.m. to learn more about the Air Force ROTC. So please take a look at that list when you have a moment. All of our NOVA workshops are also on here as well. And if you're wanting to register for that financial aid and scholarship workshop, you should register for that here in my college visits as well. Many students ask me about scholarships. The scholarship search is located in Naviance as well. If you click on scholarship search, it will show you which scholarships are accepting applications as of the very moment that you're looking at the list. That means that you should be checking this scholarship list frequently. Maybe you decide that once a week during hawk time, you're going to take a little bit of time and take a look at this scholarship list. If you only look at it once in September and you don't look at it again until late April when you're starting to realize that you need more money, you are going to miss about 90% of the opportunities that came out in between those 2 months. So it is very important to be checking this regularly. If you're checking it regularly, my big tip is to go in here to the sort by and change it to recently updated. And recently updated will show you everything that has been put on there most recently, which will help you not have to dig through every single scholarship every single time. It'll populate the most recent ones up towards the very top. Last thing I want to show you in the colleges section is that many students are asking me about enrichment programs, whether that be summer programs or career days or career fairs or any other opportunities that we hear about. If you click on enrichment programs, you can see all of the different things that we know about. And you are more than welcome to use the filter. You can select a category, you can use a keyword. So take a look at that if you are looking to add some enrichment to your life. Lastly, in the About Me section, this is where you could build yourself a resume if you would like to build yourself a resume. And you will be able to download your resume in a form that you could attach to a job application or a scholarship or college application if you needed to do that. And so that is Naviance. We're almost done. So we just talked about college visits at Hayfield. We'll skip that. We'll also skip senior parent night since that has already happened. This is a wonderful week to be putting on your calendar if you are college bound. There is a large FCPS college fair happening at the Eagle Bank Arena on Sunday, October the 20th from 4 until 6. When we get a little closer to that college fair, you will be able to go to the website for the event and you'll be able to see a list of the colleges that are coming. Typically, it is over 200. Eagle Bank Arena is absolutely packed. So do make sure that you take a look, figure out who you want to see, and come up with a game plan before you walk in, because it will be very busy and can be overwhelming if you don't walk in with a plan. In addition to that, Monday is a holiday. So Monday, October 21st, we will not be in school. But on Tuesday, October 22nd, from 5 until 8, there will be a number of virtual workshops that FCPS will be hosting on everything from college applications to financial aid and scholarships to SATs and ACTs. They usually have some career topics as well. They have not released those topics yet, and they have not released the schedule. But when they do, those will all be at the same website that is at the bottom of this screen. So do go back and check that website to see the schedule once it's been posted. In this part of our senior meeting, we had Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Pina, who are our senior class administrator and sponsor. This is their contact information if you have questions about graduation or caps and gowns or any of those sorts of things. They are the people to be asking those questions. I'll stop this for just a moment. If you have not yet ordered your cap and gown, you should go ahead and do that now. Remember that the class of 2026 also has their own Schoology group. It's really important to be in that. If you're not in that already, the join code is here and you'll see all of the updates from class of 2026. That is how you will know what is happening for homecoming and graduation and all the other fun senior stuff that will be coming to you this year. Senior parking lot design submission has already come and gone. If you have questions about that, please see Mrs. Pina or Mrs. Williams. Coming soon will be our senior breakfast and homecoming parade. They do not have a date for senior breakfast just yet, so please be watching in the class of 26 Schoology group for that information. And finally, yearbook information. I am not our yearbook sponsor. However, our yearbook sponsor, Mrs. Eckerd, gave me this information to share with you. If you want to put an ad in the yearbook and or you want to purchase a yearbook, make sure that you make that purchase with the website listed on this slide. And if you have not gotten your senior photo yet, the last round of senior photos will be November 19th, 20th, and 21st. So make sure that you make an appointment on the Voss Photo website. If you have any questions, email Voss Photo at the email on the slide. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this information was helpful. Remember, your counselors and I are here to help you along the way. Let us know if you need anything, and we're excited to be on this journey with you. Go Hawks!